mid-afternoon in the rolling Norfolk countryside, and an encounter with a bit of a star. This is Barbecue Eddie, winner of 8 races, 7 of them in Dubai, and of course he's something of an equine legend. As you might have noticed from the fact that I'm freezing cold and it's very green here, we're not in Dubai, and that's because Barbecue Eddie has been rehomed by his owner, His Highness Sheikh Hamdan, here to his beautiful Shadwell stud in Norfolk. We've come along to see just what Eddie's up to in his new home.
Barbecue Eddie and Finjan have swamped them. Eddie's put his head in front. He's drawn clear. Barbecue Eddie's won.
Barbecue Eddie and Halfback are both trying to reel him down. He's getting tired, the leader. Eddie lunging on the near side, and Barbecue Eddie got him.
A hero in UAE racing circles, Barbecue Eddie is synonymous with Maidan. Trained for the entirety of his Dubai career by Doug Watson, the son of Stormy Atlantic won 7 times at the track, including his landmark victory in the Group 2 Maktoum Challenge Round 1.
Eddie hit the front, 150 to go, out of bounds is fighting back, then Rutland Boy, Mufar flashing along the rail, Barbecue Eddie's in front, Dane rides hard, and the old boy's done it. Age won't weary him. Barbecue Eddie has beaten out of bounds.
Barbecue Eddie was retired at the end of the 2014 UAE season, having racked up 39 starts and nearly $800,000 in prize money. He'd certainly earned a good retirement.
He arrived May last year from Dubai. He just had a couple of months on the walk or out in a small paddock. Then in July, he went out in a large paddock with a group of 6 other retired horses who've been here for donkey's years. And he stayed out with them all winter, came back in March this year.
When you brought him back in, there must have been a few concerns that he'd go a bit berserk, that he wouldn't take to life as a lead horse, because of course some horses just don't adapt to it.
I was worried when he came in, separated from his mates out in the paddock, the other horse he'd been with for 10 months. Because when we've done that in the past, I've got quite upset. But he came in, walked straight into the stable, looked for his food, and has never looked back.
We've seen him leading out the youngsters this morning. Is that sort of what he does? Is that his daily routine every day?
Yeah, he'll either lead the young horses that 2-year-olds are just learning the job, or the injured horses that need a sensible horse with them. They're coming back from injury, so we don't want something that's going to be setting them off themselves, nice and quiet and settled. And as you see this morning, that's exactly what he is. He doesn't move. So he doesn't move, they don't move. He's known as Steady Eddie, not Barbecue Eddie now.
We have to point out that he is doing the job. It's not that you created one for him, you really need him.
Yeah, we do need him, and he does a really good job, as you can see. We need them.
Of the many jockeys to have ridden Barbecue Eddie, it was Dane O'Neill and Richard Hills who were the most successful on the gelding, partnering him to 2 wins each. Now an integral part of Shadwell's operation in the UK, Richard remembers him well.
When he first came to Dubai, we didn't own him, and then subsequently we bought him during the summer, and he was a really, really good campaigner, you know, and pretty much every year as well for about 4 years. So he was a good friend.
And he was reportedly very, very strong in the mornings. I remember he used to go out on his own, and Carl Hodgson used to ride him, and Doug always said he had to go out on his own. That was how he had to be ridden.
Yeah, well, Carl, he was my agent, so I knew Barbecue pretty well. Every morning I had a daily report. Anyway, one morning I turned up, and not often I rode him. Carl always rode him, and as you quite rightly said, he always went on his own. For some reason they put me on him, and he just took off with me all the way around the track. I was heading down the track at Doug's towards Mr. Borsley's yard, and I thought, I hope you can see this outside rail, because we were going awfully fast towards it, and luckily he turned, and anyway came round, and I said to Doug, please never put me on this horse again in the mornings. In the evenings fine, but not in the mornings. But Carl went up in my estimations on riding abilities that day.
He may have been a handful in the mornings, but Richard and Eddie clicked just fine on race day, and his performances on the track have fond memories for all at Shadwell.
He always had his quirks, you know. I mean, he could run keen. We always liked an inside draw with him just to get cover, and he could sometimes hang. He had his quirks, but I mean that was Eddie, you know. So, but on his day, you know, he was right up there with him.
He might be officially retired, but this is one barbecue in which the flame still burns bright.